Was watching a Jimmy Oaks video and I left a comment, and people actually don't understand what I'm saying. So, going to explain it. But here is my E92 M3. What this video is about is stop letting YouTubers trick you into thinking you need to swap your car. Why am I saying that? Because in the Jimmy Oaks video, they said it was a good budget swap to put that Volvo, or not Volvo, Volkswagen engine into an E36 or whatever. So one thing that YouTube has done is misled people into thinking that one, a swap is easy, and two, a swap is cheap, or that it could just be done on a super budget and this, that, and the third. And that's why you see a lot of swap cars for sale for cheap. And then somebody like me who will say, oh, wow, the hard part's already done, which is majority of people if we're being realistic, because this video is about being realistic. It's not about the hypothetical that the YouTubers make people think is like super easy and achievable and everything like that. Because achievable, yes, you can swap a car. Yes, you can swap a car for cheap. It won't drive good. It will have no real functions. You won't have AC. You won't have this, that, and the third. Even if it's a track car, it's going to be a nightmare to drive, and you're going to have to always keep checking things and fixing things and R&D and this, that, and the third. It's never going to be easy. It could be cheap if you're doing it yourself and you eventually get it done and everything like that, labor-wise. Since you're not paying for labor, it could be cheap. But if you're paying for labor, it's never going to be cheap. That's never gonna happen. That's not happening. And then I know, like, there people are gonna say, oh, you can bring it to one of those tech schools and have the students work on it, blah blah. I don't even know how that works. I don't even know if that's a real thing. I've heard it. Who knows? Because as far as I know, most of those kids work on their car. So I don't know. But back to the topic at hand. It's not going to be cheap and easy to swap your car. Just to be completely honest, it's not. Majority of people are not swapping a car to like just bring it to the track. A lot of people are swapping their cars because they want to swap car to drive. And eventually you're going to get tired of the creaks and the rattles and no AC and gauges not working and not having all the functions. And then you're going to say, oh, I want AC. So then you're going to eventually put AC. Oh, I want the gauges to work. So you're eventually going to make the gauges work. And if you're not good at wiring, you're going to have somebody do it. That's going to be expensive. Or you're going to get an aftermarket ECU, an aftermarket harness, this, that. It's never going to happen. Like, and then the thing about the Jimmy Oaks video is, yes, so Jimmy Oaks, he went to school for like engineering or something. So he has that wiring skill set, like, from a college or whatever that he went to. So that it's going to be a swap, for parts of a swap is going to be easy for him. And then he's been swapping cars for a long time, so that is going to make swapping a car easy for him. So in his head, it is like a pretty easy thing to do because it's second nature to him. And then also, he doesn't pay for labor. He has a shop, he has lifts, he has this, that, and the third. He has sponsors. He's a Link dealer. So it's like, it's going to be easier for him. For you, the average guy who does not have a YouTube budget and a team and a garage and a lift and this and that and this and that and a wiring background and all those things, it's not going to be easy. It's also not going to be cheap. I have to reiterate this because I've done it. I bought a car, an E36 that was swapped from a GM master mechanic, like 25 years of experience. I had to get the car redone because one, he blew up the engine, he didn't tune it properly, he didn't wire it properly. A lot of things just were not done right, and that's the thing. A lot of people are not going to do something right. They may get it to work, they may get it to drive, they may get it to go to Cars and Coffee and a whole bunch of stuff. But if you're talking about something that is like to an OEM spec or a good quality driving car with things that work, that's usually not the case. And if it is, it's not going to be cheap because the person did the work and the R&D and they pay the labor, or they have the skill set to do it properly, and then they're going to charge accordingly. So the swap car that you bought won't be cheap. Like, but for some reason, YouTube and YouTubers keep telling you to swap your car. And that's why, again, you'll see a lot of swapped cars on Marketplace for cheap. Or swapped project. Oh, I changed my mind. I just want to. No, you couldn't do the swap. It got too expensive. You realize that the people that you watch have misled you to thinking that you can easily do the swap. That is the thing. They're just going to say, oh, I changed my mind, or oh, I'm starting a business, or oh, I'm buying a house, or oh, my wife told me to, oh, but literally, but they're never going to tell you the truth that the thing got out of hand and the price went way more than they thought it would. And it was a lot more work because they've seen people easily swap cars. That is the reality of it. I'm telling you, as somebody who's done it, with the E36 platform, I've had 16 or 17 E36s with many setups. I've had E36s that I've done stuff on. I've had E36s that friends done stuff on. I've E36s that shops done stuff on. I've had E36s that people like bigger shops have done stuff on. I've had E36s with custom stuff and this and that and this and that. I'm telling you. So, for the people who are like interested in getting budget power out of an E36, you can spend about $3,500 if you go to Hyde Motor Works and then you get their M90 supercharger kit. And again, this is not an ad for Hyde Motor Works. Like, you may be able to like message them and tell them that you want to buy one of their kits with the I'm Swaggy discount. I don't get a kickback from that. I just really like the stuff that they're doing because they make it more so DIY friendly, that you don't really have to cut or fab or do anything like that. So it's just like, you go to Hyde Motor Works, you get one of their M90 kits. You can get green top injectors off eBay for like $100 or something like that. You can get like a Walbro 250 or a Hellcat pump for like under $200, and then you can get like a Rally Road bracket for like $50 or something. Like, a lot of these things are actually not expensive. What else do you need? You can even get like an ATI pulley and a couple other little things. You get a front mount intercooler kit, like a generic eBay one or a CX Racing one, or you can source one from Hyde Motor Works, or like they'll put one together for you or whatever. And you can pretty much, and then you could also get a tune like RK or whoever else. And this is not the standalone ECU route. You can pretty much go and spend about like, it's going to be around $3,500 without labor, because this is like, because YouTubers are saying all these things are easy, you can DIY power, blah blah blah. So this is going like on the basis that you're going to be bolting this on yourself. You can do it in a weekend. E36s are not that hard to work on. You can even like find a set of like eBay tubey headers and a cheap eBay exhaust for like $200. You'll still should be around or under $3,500, and you'll have, like, once you put all that stuff together, you'll have a supercharged E36 with like a root supercharged one that makes around 300 to 350 horsepower on the 85 or 93. It's most likely going to be around 300, and then you're going to make around 300 torque, and that is going to have your manual E36 or your inline 6 E36 like a 325 or a 328. That's what I'm talking about, because again, this is all budget. But yeah, if you do that, you'll have a pretty good drive. You'll have a really good driving car. It's going to be fun. The torque is going to be super linear. You'll have like peak torque from like 2,000 RPM. So it's going to be a fun car. You can roast the tires if you want. You can do whatever. And that way is a budget way to do your E36 and gain some good power and have some good sound. You'll have a fun car to drive. Like, if you do that swap that they're doing, that Volkswagen swap or whatever, you'll probably spend like around 10 grand, and that's with a little bit of labor, not even full labor. Like a little bit of labor, like somebody doing some wiring and this and that and tuning and the ECU and literally everything. Like, you'll maybe spend around 10 grand, and that's if you do some of the stuff yourself. Like, for example, like if you take your engine out yourself and sell those parts off and do all that kind of stuff, like, or if you bring them your shell that already has the engine out, whatever, like, you'll be spending around 10 grand. Budget to an extent, yes. Cheap, no. because that's not cheap. You'll be in like a $15,000 E36, and that's before you do brakes, before you do wheels, before you do suspension, before you do all that other stuff. So again, you'll probably be spending around 20 grand building that car. And that's with the inline six. So it's going to be the same thing with an LS. You're going to spend around 15 grand, and that is like, yeah, it's going to be around like 15 grand if you get like a 5.7 or like an aluminum LS, and then you do like a head cam setup, and you get like a Holly Terminator X Max, and you do all of that stuff. You're going to expect to spend around 15,000, and that's with labor. Trying to think of what else. Like the 2J and stuff, I don't even know because those things cost a lot. RB, same thing, they cost a lot. Other swaps like N54 and B58 and N52 and all these other things, pretty much just expect to spend like 8 to 12 grand, like on the low end, like, and that's after you already have the car. Swaps and stuff are never cheap. $500 LS junkyard swap, blah blah blah. That's not a real thing if you want a car that drives good and performs good, and the engine is sitting low where you want it to be, and all this kind of stuff. Like, unless you are a one-stop shop with good fab and everything, it's not gonna happen. So let's all just be realistic. If you don't have, let's just pretty much just say, if you don't have 20 grand to put into your swap, don't swap your car. And if you're gonna do it yourself, if you don't have 10 grand to swap your car, don't swap your car. And that's even on the low end still, because when you swap your car and you're putting more power and you're doing all this stuff, you're gonna want brakes, you're gonna want tires, you're gonna want wheels, you're gonna want just more like stuff, you're gonna want safety stuff. Like, it's never cheap. Cars are never cheap. Like, that's one thing that when people say, has YouTube ruined the car scene? Yes, in that aspect, because they make everything seem like it's going to be cheap and easy, not remembering that they have sponsors and YouTube money and a shop and a team and everything. That makes everything way easier. So yeah, unless you have some pretty deep pockets, don't think a swap is going to be cheap. Don't think adding power to your car is going to be cheap. Don't think any build is going to be cheap. Because, bro, like, cars is one of the worst things to get into. I spent a lot of money on this thing. Like, bro, people, yeah. I'm telling you, if you're not willing to spend money, just leave your car stock and do a couple aesthetics, do an exhaust and a couple little things. But if you want to boost your car, if you want to do a whole bunch of other things, unless you're starting with a platform that's already overbuilt like this, I can boost this car and just leave it as is, because the kit will come with everything I need pretty much. But yeah, it's never going to be cheap, and that's going to be around 8 grand. So again, not cheap. Like $8,000 after you already buy a $20,000 car, and that's after you do rod bearings and other maintenance, and it's never cheap. So again, yes, automotive YouTubers ruin cars because they make everybody think everything is going to be just so easy and cheap, and you can just do it yourself. Yes, in essence or whatever, yes, you can do it yourself, but is it? Yes, and it is also possible, but will you do it right? Will you not mess up? And if you have to bring it to a shop, you're going to be screwed, because they're going to have to fix what you messed up and then so please, people, let's be realistic. Take the things that these YouTubers say with a grain of salt, because they're more so ingrained in their ways, and their reality is different than yours. So please, people. Yeah, and again, this is not hate or anything like that. But you just have to remember that you are not these YouTubers, because they have money, and then they have money and sponsors and help and a lot of stuff. If you don't have that, it's not going to be easy for you, nor will it be cheap. I just have to keep reiterating this, because I keep seeing it and people keep believing it, and I'm like, bro, you have not done it. The most that you've done is maybe wheels and coilovers and like a lip kit from Maxton or whatever. Like, bro, I'm a person who's done it, and I'm not saying that as a flex. I'm a fucking idiot. Like, you're better off getting into drugs than you are getting into cars. So I really just want to tell you guys, it'll never be cheap and easy. That's a delusional thing to think, and I just honestly want to save you guys the heartbreak, because there's a reason you see a lot of unfinished projects, or I changed my mind, or I went in a different direction, or whatever online. That's not true. They gave up because they understood that it's not as easy or cheap as they thought. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. And drink water, motherfuckers. I actually already drank water and I forgot. So, yeah.